Hugh Jackman's Instagram account has been pretty quiet lately. No family photos, no behind-the-scenes movie stuff, just the usual promotional content. But on December 12th, 2024, he posted something that stopped everyone mid-scroll. It was a photo of Sutton Foster performing at Cafe Carlyle in New York, and the caption read, "Witnessing greatness tonight." Simple enough, right? Except fans who'd followed Hugh for years recognized something. The tone, the admiration, the way he used to post about Deborra-Lee before their September 2023 separation announcement. Within hours, the comment section became a battlefield. Some fans defended him, others pointed out that this was the first woman he'd publicly praised like this since his marriage ended, and a few asked the question everyone was thinking: how long has this actually been going on? 3 weeks later, on January 6, 2025, paparazzi photos surfaced. Hugh and Sutton holding hands in Santa Monica. Then more photos, this time outside an In-N-Out burger, showing them kissing. After months of rumors, denials, and carefully worded statements, there it was. But here's what makes this story different from your typical celebrity breakup. This isn't just about two people falling in love. This is about a 27-year marriage, a Broadway show, and whispers that started circulating 2 years before anyone filed for divorce. And the woman at the center of it all, Deborra-Lee, just used a word that changes everything: betrayal. Let me take you back to where this all started, because Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster's story goes back further than most people realize. In 2002, Hugh attended Sutton's Tony Award-winning performance in Thoroughly Modern Millie. They met backstage, took a photo together, the kind of moment that happens all the time in theater circles. 6 years later, in 2008, Hugh showed up to see her in Shrek the Musical. Another backstage photo, another friendly encounter. By 2014, they were dancing together at the Tony Awards where Hugh was hosting and Sutton was nominated for Violet. It looked exactly like what it was supposed to be. Two Broadway veterans who respected each other's work. Then came March 2019. Hugh announced he'd be starring in a Broadway revival of The Music Man, and days later, he revealed his co-star. He posted a throwback photo from that 2014 Tony Awards dance with Sutton and wrote, "For our next dance, Sutton Foster is marrying." The announcement got thousands of comments celebrating Broadway royalty reuniting. At that exact moment, Hugh had been married to Deborra-Lee for 23 years. Sutton had been married to screenwriter Ted Griffin for 5 years. Both had children, both had families that trusted them. The Music Man was supposed to open in fall 2020, but COVID delayed everything by 18 months. When rehearsals finally started in October 2021, something shifted. You could see it in the social media posts, in the interviews, in the way they talked about each other. The show opened on February 10th, 2022 at the Winter Garden Theater. And from opening night, Hugh and Sutton weren't just co-stars promoting a show. They were celebrating each other in ways that made people do a double take. On February 11th, the day after opening, Sutton posted a photo with Hugh and wrote, "This man, an honor to be by your side. You are the best. Not a great co-star, not a talented actor, the best." Hugh responded on Twitter, "This show is nothing without you. You're an exceptional talent and friend." A month later, in March 2022, something happened during a performance that seemed sweet at the time, but now feels different. Hugh stopped the show mid-performance and got the entire audience to sing happy birthday to Sutton. The video shows her looking genuinely moved while Hugh watches her like she's the only person in the room. Theater people defended it as normal Broadway camaraderie. But then Sutton went on live with Kelly and Ryan in July 2022 and casually mentioned a detail that raised eyebrows. She said, "We hang out in my dressing room before every show. We sit on the carpet and just talk and catch up on our day." Let me be clear about what that means. Before every single performance, Hugh would go to Sutton's dressing room and they'd sit on the floor and talk. Not a quick pre-show check-in. They had a ritual. A backstage worker who spoke to Page 6 described what the cast witnessed night after night. At intermission, Hugh and Sutton would stand and hug for a full minute, sometimes 2 minutes, right in front of everyone, every show, for over a year, while their spouses were at home with their kids. Here's the detail that probably hurt the most. During the Music Man's run, both couples socialized together. Double dates, dinners, 4 people sitting around a table while 2 of them were reportedly hiding something. Imagine being Deborra-Lee at one of those dinners, making conversation with Sutton, completely unaware. The Music Man closed on January 1st, 2023 after 374 performances. Then came 8 months of silence from Hugh's personal life. On September 15th, 2023, Hugh and Deborra-Lee dropped a joint statement. It read, "We have been blessed to share almost 3 decades together as husband and wife in a wonderful, loving marriage. Our journey now is shifting, and we have decided to separate to pursue our individual growth." The statement was perfect, diplomatic, mature. It read like two people who simply grew apart after building a beautiful life together. Everyone bought it. Hugh Jackman, the nicest guy in Hollywood, going through a sad but respectful separation. No villains, no drama, just life. That narrative lasted exactly 13 months. October 22nd, 2024. Sutton Foster filed for divorce from Ted Griffin. 10 years of marriage, a 7-year-old daughter named Emily. 4 days after that filing, the internet exploded. On October 26th, gossip blogger Tasha Lustig posted a video saying, "Do y'all remember when I said this man was up to no good, that he blindsided his wife and ran off with the mistress?" Within hours, Amanda DeCadenet, one of Deborra-Lee's closest friends, commented, "You are on point with this one. My beloved friend Deb is about to have her glow up any moment." Then came the confirmation everyone needed. Deborra-Lee herself liked the post from a private account. The amicable separation story was PR. Deborra-Lee had been blindsided, and she was done protecting Hugh's image. 3 weeks later, Us Weekly confirmed what Broadway had been whispering for over a year. There was an affair, and there was overlap. Another report included a detail that changes everything. According to sources close to the situation, Deborra-Lee found out about the relationship during the run of The Music Man. It was, quote, "Broadway's worst kept secret," and Deborra-Lee was the last to know in her own marriage. Once the truth started coming out, the divorce got complicated. Hugh and Deborra-Lee were dealing with a $250 million fortune, and they had no prenup. Why? Because in 1996, when they got married, Deborra-Lee was the star. She was an established Australian actress. Hugh was nobody. He was a musical theater guy who just landed his first TV role. She helped him get an agent. She supported him through auditions. She was there when he got cast as Wolverine, the role that changed everything, and 30 years later, she's fighting for what she's owed from the career she helped build. On May 27th, 2025, Deborra-Lee filed official divorce papers with a statement that shattered any remaining illusion. She wrote, "My heart and compassion goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal. It's a profound wound that cuts deep. If you've ever been cheated on, you know that word betrayal sits in your chest differently than separation or growing apart. It rewrites every memory. Every 'I love you' becomes a question mark." She continued, "Returning to yourself and living within your own integrity, values, and boundaries is liberation." By June 2025, the divorce was finalized. Deborra-Lee received substantial spousal support, but at 69 years old, she's rebuilding everything while watching a younger woman. Sutton is 49, step into the life she created, and that's when Hugh and Sutton made their relationship impossible to ignore. Those January 2025 photos of them holding hands and kissing weren't accidents. They were seen at Broadway shows together. In February, they attended the opening night of the Notebook musical, sitting together in the audience. One source told People magazine, "They weren't prepared for the backlash. They expected some, but not this much." That same January, Hugh skipped the Golden Globes, where he was expected to appear to attend Sutton's final performance in Once Upon a Mattress. By May, paparazzi caught them moving boxes into Hugh's New York penthouse, the same apartment Deborra-Lee spent years designing, the same space where she raised their kids. Now it's being filled with someone else's belongings. But even as they tried to build something new, cracks started showing. In February 2025, Hugh was filming in Northern Ireland for a new project while Sutton was on tour. Long distance, different time zones, the reality that relationships built on intensity don't always survive real life. Then reports surfaced in March that Hugh and Kate Hudson were getting close on set. One source noted, "Kate is naturally flirty. Hugh responds right back." Suddenly, according to insiders, Sutton was reportedly keeping one eye open because she knows better than anyone. If he did it with you, he can do it to you. There are 3 kids living through this. Sutton's 7-year-old daughter, Emily, watching her mom's marriage end. Hugh's son, Oscar, who's 24, and daughter, Ava, who's 19, both watching their parents' 27-year marriage implode for a Broadway Broadway romance. Here's what bothers people the most. Hugh Jackman spent 27 years as Hollywood's nice guy, the devoted husband, the family man, but Broadway insiders watched something else unfold during The Music Man. Long embraces, pre-show rituals, a connection everyone saw except the spouses being betrayed. And those same people stayed quiet because they liked him, because he's charming, because he's Hugh Jackman. Look at those Music Man posts now, the birthday celebrations, the constant praise. That wasn't friendship, that was a relationship hiding in plain sight while two families trusted them. Hugh posts about Sutton now the exact same way he posted about Deborra-Lee for 3 decades. The same tone, the same adoration, the same public worship. Deborra-Lee is 69 years old. She gave him everything when she was the star and he was nobody. She supported his career, she raised their children, she stood by him through every movie, every premiere, every award show, and her reward was being the last to know. Hugh finally broke his silence with that Instagram post of Sutton at Cafe Carlisle, but he's never addressed the affair directly, never acknowledged the overlap, never explained what happened during those 18 months of The Music Man. He just waited until we stopped asking questions. Except some of us are still asking, was it worth it? Was the Broadway romance worth blowing up 2 families? Worth breaking the trust of a woman who stood by you for 27 years? The comments on Hugh's posts are divided. Some fans say everyone deserves happiness. Others point out that happiness built on someone else's pain has a way of turning bitter. Sutton hasn't posted about Hugh publicly since the relationship was confirmed, and Hugh's posts about her have become more careful, more calculated. The fairy tale they tried to sell isn't holding up under scrutiny. So here's what I want to know. Do you think relationships that start this way can actually last? Can you build something real on a foundation that hurts so many people? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation isn't over. And if you want to stay updated on how this story unfolds, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.